Welcome back to another edition of Fundayz Sports. I'm Davey McBucketts. We're joined by my buddy Josh Frost.
What's up?
Got Big Fish in the house today for his first podcast.
What's up?
And our host for the entirety of this whole ordeal, we've got from Fresh Huddle, my man Art.
What it do?
The man, the myth, the legend. We're excited to come to you guys today. We're live here in the Pier Mall, inside the Fresh Huddle store. If you guys need any sports memorabilia or merchandise at all, this is the spot. Art, how long have you been open up here?
We've been open since November 16th of last year.
Perfect. Oh yeah. Moving and grooving. And then you've got the big signing day coming up, right?
Yes, we have Lincoln Kinos, the man, the myth, the legend.
The
really
legend.
good kid. April 16th, 12 o'clock, he's going to be doing a meet and greet here.
Oh,
So
yeah.
pull up.
And we'll be back live, so make sure you stay tuned and make sure you stop by. Definitely one of the local sports legends here, and you really don't want to miss out on this opportunity before he turns in to the next Joe Burrow.
Facts.
Going.
Facts.
Big Fish, welcome to the show.
Thanks, fellas. Thanks for having me here. Once we get flowing, I won't stop talking. So you guys should probably start with your stuff before we let me just ramble for an hour.
Nothing wrong with the intro. You're a native of South Dakota, right?
Yeah, grew up in Fay, South Dakota.
Big city living.
Big city living of 400 people.
I heard they got both kinds of music there, country and western.
They do have country and western. It's the only two types of music you can get in the city bar. If you play a rap song, it'll just automatically go to a country song.
I think William sounds good.
Well, at least now you can do like some Post Malone and Beyonce, and you can still get you can get a little mix of both
Slide
ways.
in there, you know.
Frosty, back again.
Yes, sir.
How are those Dolphins doing?
We haven't done shit. Zach Wilson, you're going to be the new Tua. And by that I mean you're not going to have a brain in a year. That's what it's going to come down to.
Poor bastard.
Yeah. I'm pretty negative on the Dolphins right now, about everything in general.
It's part of the game.
I mean, I've been struggling for since Dan Marino left?
24 years, going on 25 now. We have not won a playoff game. I would just like to have one playoff game.
Hey, to back up Frosty, though, that team was the only team in the history of the NFL to ever go undefeated and win the Super Bowl.
Very
True.
true.
So get
Very
up off
true.
my boy Frosty. And
the
I don't
one
even
thing I
like
got.
Miami, so
That's the
I
one
like
thing I got.
Frosty, though.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because
fuck
the
you, Tom
refs
Brady.
took my Tom Brady perfect season away by not making some calls for him.
Oh my God, are you a Patriots fan?
Just a Tom Brady fan.
Okay.
Why?
Well, because when you're light and you're slow, he represents all of us guys. You know? Like,
The most unathletic, greatest
Yeah.
athlete of all time.
I think of white, slow guys. I think of linemen. That's about what I look at.
well, he's just the greatest ever.
No, I'm just kidding.
Just the greatest.
You guys want to start with a little bracketology? Talk about what's going down?
Yeah. all
Got
right.
it pulled up here. So today we've got a huge slate of games. We'll kind of start with what happened yesterday. My Cougs knocked off Gonzaga. That one got a little closer than I wanted it to, but I think we handled them pretty well. There's nothing too bad about that. Auburn took care of Creighton. Arkansas beat St. John's. That was a big one.
Big upset there.
John Calipari versus Rick Pitino.
Texas Tech taking out Drake. Not that stunning, not even an upset, but
No, not too crazy.
within 9 points though.
BYU and Wisconsin had a really
That
great
was a
game as
nail
well.
biter there.
Purdue handled McNeese, so it looks like our last Cinderella is kind of done for the year between
Yeah.
McNeese and Drake.
The clock struck midnight. The pumpkin showed up. She went home. She's
Anybody
gone.
that you guys have for a favorite so far?
I had Memphis, Penny Hardaway, but then they broke my heart, just like the Dolphins.
First round bounce.
First round.
First round?
First round.
Man, maybe you should start picking some different teams. But
Yeah, Kent State, we're coming back, baby.
Golden Eagles. Let's go. Yeah, you said last time you're hitching the horses on the bandwagon for Kent State.
Hell yeah, man. I got the team ready to go. We got plenty of room on the wagon.
So currently we've got UConn and Florida. They're all tied at halftime. Later on today we've got Baylor and Duke, followed by Illinois and Kentucky. St. Mary's and Bama. Bama survived, I think, that was probably going to be the biggest upset of the entire deal. Playing against Robert Morris, the 15 versus 2. Morris kept it really close within 5 up until the last few minutes of the game, so I was really impressed with the output there, even though they didn't get the win. Looks like our lowest seed going today is going to be Colorado State, number 12. 12 seed. They're going to be playing against Maryland. We've got Ole Miss, Iowa State. That should be a battle royale. Ole Miss hung on yesterday, the day before. And then Iowa State, I mean, they just put a romping and stomping. I forget who they played.
Didn't Ole Miss play North Carolina?
Yes.
Smacking.
Yes.
Smack-a-belly.
I'm a North Carolina fan, but they had no business being in this tournament.
I hear you.
They weren't the same team that we've been used to seeing UNC be. This was not the best team that we've had for a long time.
Facts.
And just a little bit more on this. Like, how do you not, you're UNC, like, how do you not get top quality players?
Right.
The Jordans alone that you're going to strap on your feet should make you be able to go to that school. I'm just saying.
You're not wrong.
No, I'm just.
Especially in the NIL era.
Yeah, like, I mean, how does that happen that these major level Power 5 type of basketball programs should be dominating? Because they should have the hand pick of the kids.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if it's, better recruiting or just got lazy and was hoping that the UNC tradition and the Jordan brand would bring kids there. But I don't know. I mean, they got to look at something because they haven't been very good for a while now.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I think something weird about college sports right now especially is like Rick Pitino was talking about his team. He's not even looking to recruit a single high school kid now.
Yeah, it's changed the landscape.
He's going straight to the transfer portal. Not even going to take a look at a high school kid. And it's changed his team. So, like, I mean, Duke is obviously still playing really well, but I think we may see a downfall in coming years just because if they don't change where they're recruiting from and who they're pulling in, it's hard when you got a 23-year-old man playing against an 18-year-old boy.
Facts.
Very true.
That's straight facts. But do you think with this new money that these kids can get a bag now playing for these huge universities?
Sure.
Do you think it's going to make kids stick around longer? Because, I mean, what if you don't like where you're going to go in the draft and you can come back and make a guaranteed $2-3 million
Yeah.
to play another year of college basketball? I mean, you think about that.
I definitely agree.
And I think, too, like, with...
Well, that's how you see some of these 27-year-old guys still playing college ball. Like, they don't belong there. You shouldn't be playing ball at 27. If you're not making it to the pros, guess what?
Hang
it up, buddy.
Hang it up.
Hang it
Time.
up.
It's for college
Rap
kids,
City,
isn't it?
pal.
But with this NIL deal now, like, I feel like, kind of going off the subject here, but, like, the NFL and the NBA draft, like, they should come up with a kind of a different system. I know the NBA's got the lottery, but you shouldn't, they shouldn't be able to just prize themselves getting the top pick of Cooper Flagg because you decided to trade Luka and, try to tank your team to,
I had to bring that shit up, didn't you? Dude, I'm still salty about Luka.
No.
I can't do
Wounds
it.
are still fresh.
I get it, and I get those wounds, but, like, I feel like you should be penalized by not trying,
Yeah, I agree.
you know?
I think something that I would like to see, crazy idea, it'd never happen, relegation. Just like they're doing with the English Premier League.
Oh, dude, that would be awesome.
Wouldn't it be great? I mean, it's like you turn around and you have the top level performing G League team.
Should do that for the UFL and the NFL.
That'd be nice too.
That'd be way too much money involved, though.
Or Jacksonville.
Jacksonville would be screwed.
Jacksonville's going to turn into a D3 college football team before too long. Going straight NAIA.
Like, their rivalry is DeVry this week.
ITT Tech.
Oh, man. Let's see. Other topics. We're going to get a little more into some football, too.
Yep.
Big signing day, obviously, with Lincoln Keenholz, another hometown favorite who's definitely one of the most sought-after prospects coming out of college this year is going to be Gray Zabel.
Yep.
North Dakota State Bison.
Facts. First round for sure.
I feel like the key to getting like your all-pro lineman is just make sure that all that dude does is bass fish and go to church. That's all you want.
It's like 90% of it right there.
And
Besides eating a good meal every day.
Yeah, squatting 500 doesn't hurt either.
You know, but in actual practice does help out.
No, it does. But
shout out practice.
Gray comes from a great background of athletes. Like his uncle Bert Schneegard. Like when we grew up, where we were, every kid wanted.
Shout out Agar.
You know, I mean, Bert Schneegard was an amazing athlete, and I think he might have won the world in steer wrestling. So, you know, and his mom, Gray's mom, I believe she was an All-American basketball player at Northern.
Nice.
So, I mean,
so he comes from a line of
he comes from a lineage of
Definitely in him. Definitely in him.
Yeah, steer wrestlers, don't ever mess with them, dude.
No.
They'll take
Yeah,
your
it turns
ass
out
down.
not a good idea.
That's when rap music turns the country real fast. Just saying.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
check it out. I like country. I like rap.
That was
You know what I'm
fucking
saying? Keep poking at my rap music. We gonna
I feel
have
you.
an issue.
We're about to be fighting.
I'm not gonna fight you, but I'm definitely
We'll hug it out.
I'm gonna put a staple in your hibachi veggie.
Perfect. Little iron in his eye.
Secret method to killing people.
Trying to.
Yeah.
I don't wanna kill you. I don't want you to die, but I just want
I
you
just
to.
want you to feel it.
Yeah.
Know that I was there.
Gotta feel it.
No, and Gray was a different athlete, especially like when we get to watch him play or high school football, and you know people are talking about. I mean, and Pierre's been blessed with great quarterbacks.
Facts.
I mean, you go from Peyton Zabel and Garrett Stout, you know, and you get Gray 25 yards down the field knocking out safeties for you to run a hole. You know, you could drive a Mack truck through the hole that guy created. So I mean,
It's hard to tackle when there's nobody standing up to tackle him.
100%. And he was just a man among boys out there. So it's good to see him doing great.
Yep.
Facts.
It's good to see a guy from South Dakota actually get some recognition and hopefully be a first or second round pick, you know?
I definitely put my money on a first rounder. We're looking at number 3 overall tackle. As far as projections, I believe that was actually lineman just in general, but the 3 overall tackle.
Yep.
I don't see him dropping out of the top 15.
No, the first round is a show.
Yeah.
A show.
If you get him, I feel like pick 20 through 32, you probably just got the steal of the draft.
You winning.
It
Big
takes
time.
one gas mask video for you to fall out of the top 10.
Shout out Laramie Tunsil.
Laramie Tunsil. I think Miami did that too. That's another diabolical move.
Alan, diving back into the little conversation that we had yesterday, so we were talking about one of the inabilities for particularly kids West River and South Dakota where they don't get noticed. I was going to come with a bit of a counterpoint. I think part of the athletic development that we end up seeing from these particular guys who get better is because they have the opportunity to play all of these different sports.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, you come from a small town, you know, you can be a 3-sport athlete. You're going to play, you know, basketball, you're going to play football, you're going to run track. You don't have an opportunity to diversify playing playing baseball. You know, we don't have a golf team. And most of the reasons most small schools don't have a golf team is because everybody would go out for golf and not track, you know.
Fair enough.
I mean, fair enough, you know. I mean, why would I go run when I go play golf? It's tough. It's a tough thing, too. And, you know, you got, you know, down by Sioux Falls, I mean, Denny Sanford has built some amazing facilities for these kids.
Absolutely.
You know, to train to train properly. You know, I mean, it's one thing just going in the weight room, but it's another thing to have the correct way to train. You know, just, you know, you're lifting. You just don't go in the weight room to lift. Like, you gotta hit your targeted muscles and, you know, to get better. Because we used to be able to get away with it. You know, like we always talk about this in West River. Every kid was country strong. Like, you just beat kids up because, man, you know.
We were tossing hay bales all summer long.
Cornfish.
You know, sitting in a gym.
Digging post holes, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you dug them because your dad might need one later, you know, for punishment. I don't know, you know. But it's true, you know. It's tough for you know, the West Side, and you know, and South Dakota is such a vast mileage that, it's hard, for kids. Yeah, I mean, realistically, you're not going to drive 6.5, 7 hours to go down to get a workout in Sioux Falls. So, I mean, you got to kind of make do with what you have. But I mean, there is instances where, I mean, the tides are kind of turning. I mean, for girls basketball, let me give a shout out to the state champions, Bennett County Warriors. I have to. 3 little cousins on the team.
Absolutely.
Megan, we got Reagan O'Neal, Payson O'Neal, Harley Harris. The thing is,
You're related to Shaq.
I wish. I wish. No, but those 3 girls, I mean, they're different athletes, and you can see it when you went and watched their game Saturday night, state championship. And I'm sure a lot of people in South Dakota tuned in for it. Them kids are, Harley and Reagan are freshmen, and Payson's an 8th grader, and these kids are so athletically strong. And once you're athletically strong, and it doesn't hurt when they just have that natural competitive drive to be better. It might not be their first shot, but they're definitely going to fight you for the second shot, to get it back in.
Sure.
And so, I mean, so maybe you could take those guys as an example of what every kid that can't make it to a Jenny Sanford training center, I'm sure they'd be happy to talk with you or, give you a weight workout program. But and a lot of it, will make excuses. I mean, East River's got 7, 8 sports writers, and West River's got 1.
Yep.
And Sioux Falls, the interstate's always longer leaving Sioux Falls than it is coming there.
Oh yeah.
And then if you're in Rapid City, anything outside of Rapid City, and they don't know you even exist.
Yep.
So I mean, it's tough. But I mean, now with social media, you can get your videos online.
Sure, we talked about Huddle and how important just Huddle, the app itself, can be. Just getting your practice film, game film, having that distribution network to go to different coaches. I mean, that's the way to get looked at. But it's tough when you are playing against, honestly, some kids who probably wouldn't make the team in a lot of other places.
No, you've got a lot of kids on some teams that probably don't deserve to even be on the floor. But when you're dealing with the number of kids that you have,
Got no choice.
Yeah, no
That's the
choice.
reality of it.
I mean,
You gotta take what you got.
and it's, in like the west side of the state, they don't have the luxury of having a town every 15, 20 miles that they can co-op with, and then, only count 20% of the boys in the other school. So now you're taking 2 schools, and then you take a town like Faith that's maybe got 35, 40 boys, and now you're playing against a team that, can roughly pick between, 80 to 100 kids.
Sure.
I just, and when you get more numbers, you're obviously going to get better athletes. I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah, more selection. Yeah, obviously going to have better numbers that way.
Yeah. Game of percentages at that point.
100%. I mean, and you're going to have them rare athletes, that come from the small schools that, make a name for themselves, I guess. And we could go on this topic forever.
I'm going to divert your topic just a little bit, and it's still kind of along the same lines, but I want you to talk a little bit about school choice and how that's kind of changed and what that's doing for towns kind of around the area.
Oh, yeah. So it's like the biggest thing in South Dakota that just absolutely killed the high school sports scene is open enrollment. I mean, 100% open enrollment. So now, you got kids that maybe, you got, and social media, everybody's friends with everybody. There's no rivals anymore. Like, I remember we were in high school, you stepped on the court with, a Dupree or a McIntosh. You might have been buddies with them, but you were going to war. So now these kids aren't loyal, and it's too easy for these kids to maybe, I don't like this coach. This coach making me work too hard. I can go over to that team, take a free ride to state.
I blame TikTok.
Shout out China.
China.
But no, like earlier when we were talking before off mic, was like you mentioned like I went to Tri-Valley High School down by Colton, South Dakota, and you mentioned West Central. And immediately out of my mouth was screw West Central. Don't really care about it anymore, but, that's how the rivalry goes still. It's been 15 years, 10 years since I've been in high school, 12 years now probably. Yeah.
And when I was going to school in Dallas, if we were playing Cedar Hill or DeSoto, like in a basketball game, there's literally a cage that goes right in between both sides of the actual fan access, and then there's 8 officers on scene already.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went to a high school that your senior class had more people in it than 95% of the towns in South Dakota.
Very true. Very true.
I mean,
Shout out South Dallas.
10,000 kids.
No, it was only 5,500. But yeah, it was a lot of kids. Graduating class at 750, just because a lot of kids would transfer ahead of time, just because other schools around the area had lower standards for graduation. So it was different. Yeah, it was one of those things like growing up in San Diego for the first half, especially the first half of high school, play football, baseball, basketball, hockey, do everything top to bottom, and then move back to Texas. Dude, I couldn't make the basketball team. It didn't hurt when you have guys like Ron Holland and Perry Jones coming out of your school, but it was different. Like, if you couldn't dunk...
You should have got better.
Yeah, I should have gotten better. Turns out my only shot was to be Steve Kerr. Shoot better.
Yeah, just shoot better.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I just had to play quarterback and be a starting pitcher on the baseball team. Had to dial it back a little bit. So I tried to get better.
Just last thing, like, I would just like to see, like, South Dakota maybe just look at this and, or maybe even look to start, like, split the B class up and make a C class, and that might break up some of your co-op schools. And basketball is huge in South Dakota, and I'm not trying to, like, participate for, like, hey, everybody needs a trophy.
Yeah.
But I think the 89's the cutoff for Class B, and up is Class A. So we got 80, I don't know the numbers exactly, probably pushing 90 schools in B, and maybe 45, 50 in A. And, like, these small schools, I just feel like if we made a Class C, Montana does it, it would give these communities something to rally around, because, Frosty knows now, he lives in a small town.
Yep.
These small towns that are dying, they need something.
They rely on sports.
It'll
Sports
definitely
and school,
make it
that's
more.
the two
I
things
think
that
it'll
keep these
definitely
towns
make it
alive.
way more competitive.
Yeah.
I think it'll be really more. If you do it the way you're talking about it, it'll be really competitive, and it'll probably spark that rivalry back up.
A little bit, yeah.
It'll be because you got the best kids going against the best kids, not like the best kids going against some kids that are not even supposed to be on the basketball court.
Sure,
Yeah.
and then they're teaming up with the best kids from a couple of other places, and then you have this one dominant team.
Exactly.
And then they're just playing together, and then in a way, they're actually hurting themselves for college recruiting because they don't have film
Right.
against that next level of talent.
True.
So I totally agree. I think.
It would just add another state tournament, so that's another 8 teams in a town in South Dakota that, especially the small classes of basketball. My wife grew up in a bigger school, and she never understand it. Like, Faith would go back to the state tournament, and instantly your phone ring. My buddy's like, dude, we got motel rooms. Like, we're going.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the thing, man.
Like, we're going. And
It's basically whoever leaves town last shuts the door. That's how that stuff works for small town sports.
it would be a great time to rob any small town in South Dakota when their team's at the state tournament, because there's nobody left in that town. because-
Even the sheriff's at the game, dude,
Yeah.
so take advantage of it.
Yeah, and Bill Stahl don't let much go by.
Sure.
So I just, sorry, back to this, like, I just think, like, South Dakota needs to maybe look at splitting that Class B up, and maybe they can, shuffle some numbers and make it a little more competitive. Because, and then maybe it would stop these kids from going, hey, Art, hey, Dave, hey, Frosty, like, hey, why don't we just jump over to this town? I'll get on the same team, just rack the state. And what's it mean to you to go to a different school? You didn't even grow up in that town, and you go win a state title for it. In the end, you still have to come back to your hometown.
Yeah.
Face all the people that you left high and dry. So maybe a C class. it's going to give some kids an opportunity to play in the state tournament, but it's going to give maybe an opportunity not so much just leaving for another school because, hey, these kids are way better. Well, they're better than us. Like, I can't beat them, and I'm not going to try to get better. I'm just going to go join them.
Sure.
Once again, TikTok.
Big time on the TikTok. You're not kidding, because, I mean, you see all these differentiations, and I think the hard part about it with high school sports, too, is where you have that kid who moves to a new program or a new town, and already you don't have that same rivalry level, right?
No.
What's that going to do in college sports? Then you're just going to keep feeding into the NIL era. And then pretty soon, the rivalries, which made these sports so great and made us love them so much, then it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Soft.
Super soft.
Soft.
Can't get coached too hard.
Oh.
Don't yell at my kid.
Oh, man.
Oh, no, we're going to take them somewhere else.
Yeah. Like, I even told I coach little girls, my daughter's team. They're 5th graders. And I told those girls, like, they looked at my daughter, and I could see what they were thinking. And I told them, I said, you do not worry, because I'm an equal opportunity ass shooter. She gets it just as much
as anybody else.
Probably more.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, she gets. You guys get the cliff notes. She gets the full version at home.
Yeah. I mean, and there's some, there's some heated debates at home, or maybe it's just like from practice to home. She won't say a word, but maybe call me a dickhead. Like, that's fine. Like,
No.
And,
Run
no.
sprints.
And I even told them girls, like, I sat them down one night after hard practice, and I said, which one of you hate me? And I'll tell you what, they were all looking at each other, going, hey.
Is this a trick question?
Like, I'm not going to be the first person that raises my hand.
Is this a trick question?
Have Mikey do it. He'll do
Is he
it.
trying to make us run extra laps?
So, but, like, this is going to lead into, like, it's the same way, like if your kids, like, there's so much excuses nowadays because kids are easily, like, Art brings up TikTok all the time. Kids would rather sit on their technology, play their PS5s.
Facts.
Yeah.
Play,
Facts. Sad but true.
I mean, we were at a 4th grade tournament, and I didn't have 2 girls when the game started because I look up in the crowd, and they're on their phones. They were oblivious to the game even started.
Oh, man.
So it's I don't know. And parents have such unrealistic goals, and kind of hit into travel basketball, this AAU stuff in the summer. It's the biggest money racket in the world.
Facts.
It's a huge money racket. The fundamentals of the game, and I know Kobe Bryant, he even said that.
R.I.P. Black Mamba.
Straight shout out, Kobe.
The fundamentals of the game are going away so fast because parents now are putting wins. They're putting wins over development.
True.
I mean, and AAU used to be a special thing when you had to be the elite of the elite to be on the team.
Sure.
And so if you were already the elite of the elite, you've already put your time in.
Yeah.
To get noticed. If it was South Dakota, North Dakota, Las Vegas, I mean, it don't matter what state you come from. You were the elite of the elite athlete, and you're in basketball. And now
Anybody can play.
Now anybody can play because you got guys, I mean, virtually blowing smoke up your ass.
Yeah.
Just to get that bread. That's all it's about.
Absolutely.
Just want that money.
Put 15 kids on a travel team, and
They don't
maybe
care.
7 of them play on the basketball team, and then everybody else is just throwing money into it.
And if you find yourself, even like, I don't recommend travel basketball, maybe until you're a freshman or sophomore. And even at that point, if you find yourself not being like one of the top tier kids on your team, and you find yourself on a traveling program, like, stop. Just stop. Go to the gym. I'm serious.
All I can think of is Michael
Shut up,
Jordan.
practice.
Just stop.
Just stop. Like, we're talking, we'll go, Allen Iverson's like, just practice.
Talking about practice?
Just talking about practice.
Not the
Facts.
game.
Those kids are just, And the work ethic is going away because now you don't have to work hard to like be on a traveling team because your mom and dad can just drop 5 racks and get you on a traveling team.
That's a nice shot, Skyler. Good job, buddy.
5,000. You look good in your jersey on the bench, son. Very, very
You
sharp.
like that detergent? Is it giving you a rash?
But that's true. Can I just add a little something?
Yeah.
I was watching a Kobe Bryant interview, and he was referring to his daughter Gigi, R.I.P. Gigi, and Kobe, and he was telling her she has to be in the gym Monday through Friday for at least 3 hours, Monday through Friday for at least a year
Yeah.
before you start seeing any type of considering to be on a team. So what he's saying is facts, and like he said, the game right now is just so saturated. All it's about right now, they're just trying to stack their teams just to make their quota and get money. They're not really trying to teach the kids anything. They're just trying to just basically be like the Partridge Family, just traveling around, singing songs. Win or lose, hey, it doesn't matter.
Just do the
We're
dance
here.
for TikTok.
There you go.
You can't just pick up a guitar and expect to shred on it. You got to learn the scales and all that shit. It's the same thing with anything in life. You got to practice and put the time in.
Practice makes perfect. It's never
Shout
perfect,
out
so we
practice.
always practice. Shout out, practice.
You know, and I just feel like, so if you go to these, all right, so we get picked up. Your kid's on traveling team. We're going to Omaha, Nebraska this weekend. We're going to get in. We practiced once this week with the team that we just got picked up on. You know, and now we're in Omaha, Nebraska for 6 games. So if you're not into it to play me ball, what are you going to get up? 6 games, maybe 15 shots. So why didn't you go to the gym 4 nights a week and put up 500 to 1,000, and not just putting up,
Make 'em.
make 500 to 1,000 a
Make
night.
them. Put them things in the bucket, baskets.
And see yourself in these kids like Steph Curry. Like I see these NBA stars really like, in LeBron James, really coming down into like the 5th grade level. You know, you get these kids that barely get touched and they go flying out of bounds. You know, they're flopping. These kids
Made it that far.
Oh man, it's rough.
man.
It's rough.
Hey,
But and then you got all those
Shout out Manu Ginobili for bringing flops to the NBA.
and the Euro step.
And the
Pat-
Euro step.
Shout
Little
out
finger roll.
So it's just, you know, like, and Steph Curry is an all-world shooter, but I bet you, you know, and Caitlin Clark, you know, and I always tell our kids, like, hey, until you're a freshman in high school, don't worry about where that three-point line is, because if you got to master from 3 feet to 15 feet and be shooting that at a 90 to 95% clip, and then as you get stronger, you're obviously going to develop a little, your range is going to come with being stronger and putting the time in at 3 to 5 feet from the hoop. Like, it's weird that it works, but as soon as you get your mechanics down and the fundamentals, everything will just fall in place.
Yeah, and if you're not practicing and playing at that level and developing those fundamentals, you may be the best player at your high school here. But when you go to a college program where everybody on the team is the best player from their high school,
That's
Facts.
the beautiful thing about stepping up to the next level. It is the best of the last round.
Yeah.
It's everybody, the cream that rose to the top, dude. That's who you're playing. And guess what? My cream never rose. I stayed in high school. I never played anywhere else. But
2-time state champion.
2 times state champion.
Yeah, because you had 3 towns to get that state championship, right?
Yeah, Tri Valley.
Yes.
3 of us.
Really good. Really good. Yeah. We just have one. It's just called faith. You know?
Gotta have faith.
Yeah, you do. You do. You gotta have faith.
Oh man.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, you could go on this topic forever, honestly. Like, because you can talk about parents. You know, like these parents that, I mean, these parents want us coaches. You know, they drop their kids off for 2 hours a night, 3 nights a week, 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week, and some of these kids don't even know how to catch a ball.
Hmm.
You know,
That's like daycare for them.
Yeah, 100%. They're just using you as daycare.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not there to waste my time. Like, don't like waste my time, because I want 100%
Yeah.
out of every kid.
Sure.
you know.
If you're gonna be there, put in a full ass effort.
Yeah, and you got parents, you know, that we're not winning enough medals. You know, well, we're not very good, so you don't particularly win a lot of medals when you're not very good.
It turns out.
They don't give out medals for sucking ass. I'm sorry.
We're not winning medals. We're not that good.
I can't allow it.
They didn't have us on ESPN or anything, but we're not that good. It's just fact.
You're not that good, guys.
It's, you know, but
You suck. Quit.
it just goes back to, like, you know, we argue with these parents, and then you ask them, you're like, hey, how much time did your kid put in this summer? Well, none.
That's the thing. You can't just. I had the same mentality when I was in high school. The one summer before football, instead of working on shit, I'm like, all right, I'll wait a week before the season starts and start conditioning. It never pans out well.
No.
It's not a good time.
No, and like you gotta come into your sport.
You have to be prepared for it.
You have to be prepared. Like, and I'm not like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Like, well, it is what
You're
it
not
is.
making it your full-time job.
No, you're not making it your full-time job. And you know they don't give a lot of scholarships out based on how you did at the Oneida, South Dakota 5th grade basketball tournament.
Exactly.
Turns
There's
out.
no scouts watching that game.
I mean, I thought Duke was going to be there, but they turned out UConn came, so we got some kids getting looked at.
I heard John Shire's private plane just got deferred. That's why he wasn't at the hall.
It's tough, you know. I mean, you got to deal with what you got to deal with out here in South Dakota.
I mean, Rick Pitino, he was there. Great guy.
Great,
Great
super
guy.
great, super great guy, super great. Hey, it's okay. I mean,
Just handing out bags of cash to 5th graders.
But, you know, and that brings, like, when you say that, handing out cash. Like, now that these kids are faced with a whole new set of not problems per se, but now these kids are not only working for a scholarship, they're working for a bag in college.
Yeah. Working for that job.
Working for it, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of them think it comes from having TikTok followers. Turns out it's all the work that you put in when you're not on TikTok.
I don't know, man. It's pretty neat seeing them little hearts get bumped. Yeah.
I love how I'm talking shit on this, and that's exactly what we're trying to do in our own, right?
Welcome TikTok.
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean, I love China and everything.
Their
about
food is
it.
amazing.
Food is amazing.
They got that buffet. Oh, God.
Their plastics, they're the best plastics.
Yeah. It's just like sports. If you're gonna want to be sports, like what's tough now for me with young kids growing up, you're obviously gonna want to have them play as many sports as possible. But then as a parent, then you have to sit back sometimes and realize, like, man, are we putting our kids in, like, are we keeping these kids too busy? Because, like, I see kids nowadays, they're not kids anymore. I mean, they're not meeting the boys in the backyard to play a football game or play a baseball game or, you know, exploring or playing in the creek.
Lighting
Trying to grow
fires,
up too
blowing
fast.
stuff up, you know, doing what guys do.
Well, I mean, social media is exposing the kids to so much stuff at an early age.
Yeah.
So, you know, my 6-year-old daughter last night was talking to me about some stuff, and I had to let her know, well, you're a child. You know, those are adult type of things that only adults need to worry about. You know,
Sure.
you don't need to worry about that. Worry about just little kid stuff for now. And then, you know, when you get older, if you come across this question again, then we'll talk about it. But like I said, TikTok, social media has got these kids brainwashed, worrying about all the wrong things, thinking that they can look online and figure out how to be a top tier AAU athlete and a coach at the same time.
Sure.
You know, so shout out TikTok.
And another thing that I really emphasize with my kids, and I know they're young, 5th grade sports, well, 5th grade, 4th grade, 3rd grade, whoever really wants to come, I will help any kid progress in their basketball. But the one thing that I tell these kids over and over, like the first thing that you have to do is your academics comes.
Facts.
Like, you got to put the time in
Facts.
school, in your schoolwork.
That's the part where it's a student athlete. You're not just an athlete, you're a student athlete.
Yes.
Character. Building good
Character is
character.
the biggest building block of it right there.
Principles. I had a kid in here yesterday. He was a little guy. You could tell he was an athlete. I asked him, I said, what do you play? He said, I play football and basketball and I wrestle. And we were looking at cards and stuff, and we were talking about the Lincoln Keynotes meet and greet. Then his mom comes in.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, we got to go. And he's all like, no, I don't want to go. I said, hey, dude.
Your mom says it's time to go. It's time
I
to
said,
go.
dude, first of all, you got to have some integrity. I said, what is integrity? He said, integrity, I don't know. I said, I'm going to tell you. I said, integrity is doing the right thing even when your mom's not around, even when your coach isn't around, even when your teachers aren't around. I said, do you know what unconditional love means? And he was all like, no. I said, unconditional is your mom's going to love you forever and ever, no matter what you do in this world, whether you're wrong or right. So if your mom loves you unconditional and you have integrity, you're going to be okay. And if your mom tells you it's time to go, and if she loves you unconditionally, you need to respect that. You need to say, okay, let's go.
Exactly.
You know? And I try to tell the kids all that. It's not about just being an athlete. It's like what he said. It's just about having good character. And that starts first in the classroom. Lincoln Keynotes, he was a top tier, super good student. Great, super good grades. And then on the field, you could basically see how his character off the field just shined on the field. Because he took those same morals, those same principles, those same values. I'm just using him as an example because there's plenty of kids out there.
Oh, yeah.
But you can see how that takes you further, not only on the field, but in life.
Absolutely.
So that's what it's all about. It's about just building up good character and trying to find those kids, weed out, like you said, weed out those kids that actually want to be there, that want to put in the work, that want to be better, just do better in general, you know.
Yeah.
So.
When Nick Saban was at a recent function and he was talking to a lot of parents and a lot of players who were sitting in there on it, he was just talking back and forth and said out of the entire time that he had NFL coaches ask him about his players, not once did they ever ask what type of football player they are.
Yeah, they
You got
always
the game
ask about
plan.
character.
Absolutely. What kind of student are they? Are they a leader in the locker room? Are they adhering to those moral standards that builds your entire program up? And that's where you have the difference made. And if you don't have those good grades and you're trying to go play somewhere, and let's say, hey, you graduate and you're only 6 feet tall, and you want to play basketball, and then you go through a growth spurt, and by the time you're 20, all of a sudden you're now 6'4", 6'5". If you don't have the grades in order to go into a program and get on that team as a walk-on, and you don't bring that team GPA up, you're never going to make it. They don't want you.
Facts.
Yeah.
If you listen in the class, you're going to listen on the court.
Big time.
Yeah.
And back to that, kind of touching on Art's deal, with Josh Mueller, I mean, they're big here in South Dakota. Him and Kent's a long-time great coach from West Central. But like at his traveling deal last year, like he sat the kids down, and man, it really hit. He goes, man, if you don't even get anything out of basketball from me while we're here, he's like, I want you to take one thing away from this. He goes, I want you to be grateful. He goes, and by that, he goes, you guys are 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th graders. He goes, so I know you didn't drive here by yourself. So he said, always be grateful for them parents. They're willing to go the extra mile to get you here, you know, show appreciation, because he goes, it's hard these days because
Well, it's a thankless deal for one. Like the
100%.
people that always put the background stuff, and they'll never get the recognition for it.
No, I mean, like, you know, these youth coaches, you know, I mean, you're the ones planning practices, you know, they're scheduling tournaments, you know, they're getting awards for each kid, you know. There's a lot of work that goes into behind the scenes that a lot of people just take for granted that, oh, you know, Dave's going to be there, like, let's drop a kid off, like,
Yeah.
he's got him for 2 hours, thank God, you know. So it's like, I mean, that was a big thing for me when I really was listening. You know, it's like, always show gratitude and appreciation for the people that got you here. And I see a lot of kids these days, you know, that don't have a lot of appreciation for, I mean, for anything in general. You know, so I mean,
Sure.
and it starts with just being a good human being.
Humility. Yeah, a lot of the
Anybody's
kids don't
alive
have humility.
out there. You know, everybody's alive,
Yeah.
no matter what right now.
Yeah.
It takes truly special people that can make the world a little bit better place than what they left it at, or where they got there. You know?
Facts.
You know, and kids got to do realize, I mean, a very small percentage, and I don't care if you're playing junior college to Division I. If you're playing a college sport, like, you've put in the time. I mean, it's just not easy to play a college sport, no matter which level you play at. So, I mean, don't hang your head that, hey, man, I could only go D3. Like,
Right.
a lot of kids think we couldn't go D3.
You know what? Be happy you went D3.
Yeah. You know?
Josh Allen, Cam Ward, 0-star recruits coming out of high school.
Yeah.
You look at Josh Allen, now the highest paid player in NFL history. And, I mean, Cam Ward projected to potentially go number 1 overall. Definitely a top 3 pick. And these are guys, when they were coming out of high school, who had nobody looking at them. And they went through the ringer. So that's one thing I do like about the transfer portal, is just that opportunity to get to another spot if you continue to grow and develop. That doesn't mean just because your coach was mad at you that you need to just jump ship.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the transfer portal, there are good sides to it, too. It's not just all negative on that. But, yeah, I agree.
And like, as a fan of college football, I would like to see the transfer portal after all the bowl games.
Yes.
You know,
Yes, you're on that team until the end of the season.
so you didn't end up where you wanted to, and now you just left your whole team. I mean, what kind of character is that? You know, I mean,
Facts. That's facts.
you know, you just take off and be like, sorry, bro. Like,
Yeah, I thought we was bros. What?
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Gonna
mean,
dip on us?
I got you.
Like,
I
Shaq,
got
what do you mean you're going to L.A., man?
Yeah, you know, I got you here, but hey, man, you guys ain't what I want now. I'm out.
No love.
No love.
They got a Jersey Mike's deal over there.
Yeah.
You're going to have to do it. That's what
I mean, and money's a big thing. You know, you think about a lot of great athletes. I mean, if you're fortunate enough to come from an affluent family, like, this whole NIL deal isn't a huge deal to you, because some kids do grow up with money, you know, that aren't accustomed to people just scraping by. So, I mean, I understand, you know, these kids wanting to get paid, but it's like, do it the right way, man. Play it out, and then hit the transfer portal. That's all I see on that transfer portal.
Totally agree.
Yeah, because it changes the bowl game for one. If half the team has entered the portal, and that's the team that got you there, obviously.
Yeah,
so it's
right.
like you're not even playing the same team anymore.
Facts.
100%. We're going to do a quick pivot. We're going to just touch for this last little bit that we have here. Our upcoming and some of the released golf segments. So Alan just went out yesterday with us for the first time. How was it playing golf on camera, buddy?
A little harder than OnlyFans, I can tell you that.
A little more natural on Big Fish's OnlyFans, right?
Can I cuss?
Yes, absolutely.
No, it was,
Ah.
I know. In all seriousness, like, I've been playing golf all winter. Yeah, we've been playing simulator leagues all winter, and we've got a bunch of rounds in. Man, I'll tell you what, that first time out yesterday, out there in that grass, I struggled.
But it's all good.
No,
You're
it's all
gonna
good
get it.
because I'm
You're
terrible
gonna
at
get
golf.
that.
So,
Yes, I did not have a fun day with it yesterday, but it's not always fun when you're golfing though either.
It was a
doesn't
great
really-
day for Frosty
It was a
yesterday.
great day for me. on that
Very
one.
great day.
When it came to golf, it was great.
and it's tough for, like, me and Frosty to play with a phenom at the end of the table.
Phenom, my
You know.
ass. They've seen the other episodes.
I was gonna say there's other tape on that.
There are other things. You know, we're hitting a 4-iron, and he's throwing out a pitching wedge, and, you know, not big deal. Not big deal.
200 yards. I'm gonna casually hit my pitching wedge here.
Just,
You should have knew when he came out with the Superman haircut, like Clark Kent, he's about to do some damage. You should already knew, like, Superman, Clark Kent.
Oh yeah.
It's about to
Yeah,
watch
when he's dialed in on his game, it's something to watch.
That's when you have fun playing golf.
That is when it's fun.
Sweet.
yeah, maybe
But you don't get to enjoy those days if you just give up on those bad days.
Exactly.
No.
That's the hard part about the game, and I think that's why golf is so popular, especially with former athletes who can't just go hoop anymore. You can't go play pickup baseball. You can't go play a pickup football game. Like, you don't have that opportunity. You don't have the knees or the back or the hamstrings for it anymore.
We can't afford the ambulance for the pickup football game for everybody. It's just too expensive there.
Have you guys seen that 30U?
It's the 38U.
Oh, man.
There are guys getting wrecked on that. They have no business
No,
being
no,
out
Lord,
there.
you gotta go to work tomorrow.
You know?
Dude, those are some of my
Wrecked your
favorite.
We've got some forklift drivers that are getting knocked out.
Amazon's gonna be tight at 30U. Like, what's going on with all our forklift drivers? They're not showing up for work.
What do you mean Gary blew out his knee? What the hell was he doing?
Dude, this is facts.
Put down the ball, Jamal.
Yeah, like I said before, if you're 27 years old and you're still playing and you're not in the NFL, hang it up.
Shut it
Done,
down.
dude.
Shut it down.
My back hurts just thinking of that.
You guys want to?
Oh,
Should we all get one of the 30U games?
Oh man, I'll be center. I'll be the center.
Shit.
I'll be the place. You know.
I'll wear a fedora and be Tom
Mom
Brady.
said I'm gonna be the water boy. I ain't fucking getting on no field with y'all, man. If I want to play some basketball, we can all day. But I've never been that type of dude to play football like that. So
You know, maybe we could pad up and take Gray and Lincoln on.
shit, right?
Oh,
Sure.
For one, I don't want to pay the hospital bill for myself.
My deductible is way too high.
Well, that's when, you know.
Dude, my back cracks when I put the ball on the tee. I can't imagine getting hit by
Just think of
somebody
it.
now.
Maybe it'd crack it right back where you needed it.
Could be.
It could happen, or you could be paralyzed for life.
I mean, that's a chance that some people gotta take.
Like, that's surgically repaired vertebrae. Didn't hold up that well. What kind of concrete did they say this was?
Oh man. But just back to the golf portion. I mean, there are good days, there are bad days. But you guys can catch all those episodes. They're live on YouTube. You can also see our shorts that are coming out on our Facebook as well as our Instagram and on TikTok.
Shout out
So-
to Ty.
They're a ton of fun.
Hey, TikTok, you see Fresh Huddle in the back? Get here, Pierce. Support him.
Yeah.
No, definitely get here. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Leave us alone.
It
You're
doesn't
ruining
matter.
America.
Yeah. You calm her down.
But I need some more likes, so.
For sure. I don't even have a TikTok. Can you believe that?
I do. All I do is just repost stuff if I do anything.
Okay.
Frosty knows my take on TikTok.
Yeah, he's not a fan.
I'm not a fan of it by any means.
I think
Whatever.
personally for me, like if the Chinese government's gonna get secrets from me, I guess then we got other issues. But at the same token, I totally get the idea though.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna be super pissed if they get my information and I got like that $300 they can get from me. Like, I mean, they're not going very
Like,
far.
all this guy
I
that
think
said
he'd
is
be
free
more mad if
porn.
they got his OnlyFans passcode.
That's. Yeah,
Dude,
you
big
gotta
time.
keep that. You gotta keep that on the DL. Hey,
Don't sleep
Lexi,
on those subscriptions.
This one's called Big Fishing Hole.
You thought you were gonna make OnlyFans just to make a ton of money. Turns out you didn't make any money,
No,
and
turns
all your
out-
coworkers saw your coochie.
No, you gotta be good at it. You gotta be good at it.
Your wife ever walk in when you're in the middle of one of them?
Yeah, she gets really pissed, you know, because she's always like, well, you know, I mean, they hate when they see you with another woman, you know, like, it's tough.
I thought you were just doing like solo stuff.
No, it's tough to do solo stuff anymore. You know?
I thought this was a sports podcast.
Oh,
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, really went on tangent.
Well,
But,
Well, we lied to you.
practice there.
hey, the good thing about golf, though, like, Dave, like, I mean,
Good thing about golf.
I'm thinking about golf. Here,
Now,
you know.
here's
Here's a guy that can hit a ball.
Oh, yeah.
100 yards. No, just the good thing about golf is, like Dave said yesterday, he played great yesterday. The day before, he played terrible.
He's awful.
So,
It's the good shots that keep you coming back. It's literally the saying, and it is true, 1,000%.
1 out of 104 swings gets you back the next day.
Big time. Thanks,
I'll
Frosty.
try it. I mean,
No
I don't
problem.
know about my shoulders. I got torn rotator cuff from playing sports my whole life. But I'll give it a shot. I'm a competitor first and foremost.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Dude, you could have some fun with it. We'll have to get you out for a ride.
I don't
sometime.
drink though.
Either do I, man.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
cool.
shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't either.
No, it's all good. Hey, to each his own.
I
love
like to live in
everybody
the
just
Smoky
like
Mountains,
Jesus.
if you know what I mean.
Shout out 420.
Shout out Willie Nelson.
California.
Shout out
sober.
Willie Nelson.
Big time
The
shout out.
red-headed stranger.
Oh man, Willie was not on my bingo card for the podcast today.
No.
I love it.
Here he is. Here he is.
Let's cross that bridge.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with California sober, that's for damn sure.
Oh.
Yeah, me and Alan, we just pound bush lights instead.
No bush lights. You can't. A little bush kitty here and there.
Ain't gonna hurt nothing.
No. Actually, it helps you out a little bit. You know, relax. You know, if you're a little tight, drink a couple bush lights.
Little swing loop.
Yeah. Almond oil. Unless you get too much almond oil in you.
Yeah, don't show up completely hammered drunk and expect to actually hit a golf ball.
Yeah, no, it
Doesn't
turns out,
usually end that way.
even if you think you're playing great at that point, it's not going to go.
No.
At that point, you're in an augmented
It's like,
reality.
you
in
ever
your
watch
mind.
Wolf of Wall Street when he does the Quaalude scene?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I made it back just fine, and it cuts to him actually doing it.
Crawling out of the white Ferrari.
Yeah. So if you're on a golf scramble,
Oh.
Don't be the drunk asshole.
yeah, you think you're the best player on there, it's probably because you're the drunkest player on your team.
Yes.
Thanks.
Damn good point. Damn good point. Well, let's go back and last little bit. We can plug some Fresh Huddle stuff. Art, you got anything in the store right now? Kind of new?
Well,
new
right
items?
now we have the Lincoln Keynotes jerseys for the meet and greet. We only are accepting the people who get a jersey that are going to be able to get in there to the meet and greet. Proceeds will be going to the youth football program for the YMCA, Feeding South Dakota, peer area referral services. Because me growing up, I grew up in the big city, Los Angeles, California, and programs like the YMCA help keep me out of the streets and off of gangs and out of trouble. So it's only right I see fit that we give back to that program.
Oh, yeah.
As well, thank you, as well as shout out YMCA, as well as Feeding South Dakota program similar to that in California. Though I come from a family of 7 boys and 2 girls, so I had a huge family growing up. So I come from very humble beginnings. So that's why I'm the way I am today. And I wouldn't relive my life if I could. I wouldn't change anything because
So what
I'm the
makes you
man
who
I
you
am
are,
today.
man.
Basically, yeah. And so I just feel like it's only right we give back to that program as well, and peer area referral services as well. So
Big time.
Great organizations.
Right. And hey, my kid, you know, he plays YMCA football.
yeah.
Got nice shoulder pads, you know, nice helmets. And shout out to like all those people that give that time to coach these kids when they don't have to be there, but they are.
Yeah,
Facts.
absolutely. A super noble cause. They don't come any better than that. I appreciate not being from the area, but having moved here, I appreciate what you're bringing to these people.
Thank you.
And sports memorabilia from all types of teams too. I love the program that you have. Kid
Thank you.
comes in and they get a free card.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's one of the coolest things.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know, man. Like I said, I just try to treat people how I would like to be treated. You know, whether they're the smallest or the biggest of the biggest, it doesn't matter. We're all, you know, human beings, like you said.
Yeah.
And I just think that it takes a community to actually, you know, make it. It's not just on one person. You know, like I said, the kid came in yesterday, and I felt like it was only right for me to sit him down and let him know, like, hey, dude, this is your mom. Like, you gotta respect your mom, because at the end of the day, without your mom, where would you be?
Absolutely.
You know, you only got one mom.
And the way you handled it was just so professional and to the point. I mean, that's everything that you could ever ask for. And if a parent were to get offended by something like that, that parent needs to reevaluate their priorities, because they may think their kid is just their kid, but their kid's going to be an adult one day.
That's the parents
True.
that see a
True.
problem with that are the ones that think their kids are angels, and they are.
Those are the ones he was talking about that just drop their kids off at practice
Yeah.
and think it's daycare.
Big time.
Exactly. They have no interest in what their kids actually do in their development.
And they're the first ones to be pissed about something when you say something to them, or, you know, like he said, like if you'd have said something to that couple of them parents, You know, and it's been all walks of my coaching from high school to 3rd grade. You know, a lot of parents are blinded. You know, my kid never does anything wrong. And trust me, even the good, clean-cut kids that come from perfect families,
they're still kids.
They got some wild sides to them.
They've killed some frogs, man.
Yeah. And it was kind of cool too. But like after I told the kid that, the mom like kind of fell back behind him where he couldn't see her. And I was like, cool. This is what we do here at Fresh Huddle.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And that's one thing when you asked us if we wanted to be a part of the signing day and then doing a live podcast, it was an immediate yes.
Yeah, dude. I love sports. Sports has been a part of my whole life. You know, it's going to be a part of my life to the day I die. I don't care if it's, like you said, pickleball. I'm
Right.
competitive.
Oh.
I just want to see it. I just love it. So.
Absolutely. Frosty got mad and decided to walk out of the podcast.
I think he's got a fart. So.
He
Frosty, you're going to need to go
realized he
further
could've-
away if we don't want to smell your fart, man.
No, it's cool.
I think it was a pickleball comment. Like, he always had aspirations of going pro, but he didn't know back in the day that you could go pro.
I agree. I mean, hey, for a big man, that dude's got some quick feet.
He's agile.
Once he gets going, it's one direction. Not a whole lot of cutting going, but he could definitely be that pulling guard
Sweet.
for our 38 UT.
I'll pick him up. I'll run it. I'll get out there. I don't care. Let's do it.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Let's do it. I don't care.
Underneath the Capitol in Pierce, South Dakota, like on the football field, U30, like how much
That
better
would be
could
crazy.
how much better could it get?
That would be crazy.
And the hospital's only
Right around the
right around the corner. So I mean, if
Yeah.
you weren't terribly hurt, you could like maybe stumble there,
Walk.
you know.
Hop,
I mean,
hobble.
Oh man, one good hit and my 7th concussion comes and I'm gonna be a walking Tua.
Oh,
I'm gonna be done for good.
I've had so many concussions. It's my head's always the first thing to hit, so it's fine.
Fair. It's the heaviest thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, I was 19 years old. I was playing in a game. I went up to go get a rebound, and this dude was like, I want to say like 6'8". I jumped so high over him. I didn't realize how high I jumped over him, and he just low bridged me. So I went straight, like head over heels, landed right on the side of my dome. Like it was inside though. Obviously, it was like hardwood, but
Sure.
still, man, it was.
Yeah, not a lot of give in hardwood.
no.
You go up and you hit that ground, I mean that's
Yeah. And it was one of those like hits where you kind of like hit and just hop up real quick.
Yeah.
It was one of those like I'm good.
get up quick.
Yeah, you just walk down the street and run down the end of the court and it's like I need a timeout.
I can't see right now.
I think I need a timeout.
How
But
many
you don't want to
coaches do
say
we
it though.
have?
It's like you don't want to call it timeout, but just like you looking at your buddy like
When you go
Save
sit
me.
on the wrong bench, you know that your head's dinged up.
right.
Oh man.
But back in the day, that was only getting your bell rung.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
part of it. Hey,
That's it. A stinger.
Stinger, man. Hey, the grass might be orange, but just shake it off, kids. Like,
keep it moving. It's a part of the game.
get your head lower than. That'll teach you to get your head lower than him next time.
Yeah, don't jump
Don't
so
go.
high. Jump over them.
They don't teach you that kind of toughness on TikTok.
No.
Heck no.
No. Oh.
They
ugh.
teach you how to start twerking and doing the splits after you make a three.
Oh, which is exactly what you want, right?
Oh.
And then what you see before that, like these pickup games drive me nuts.
Oh.
Dudes will like cross up somebody, hit a step back three, and they'll show that one clip.
Yeah.
They didn't show him dribble up the court 17 other times and then break every shot, air balls,
Exactly.
everything in between.
You good, dude? I got some Febreze back there. All right.
Dude, that was an epic piss. I will say that much.
Oh, you went all the way down there?
Yeah.
I got a bathroom back there. You could have just
Oh,
went right there.
yeah, no.
Next
I'm getting them steps in, bro. Getting
Yeah,
them steps
man.
in, bro.
We were talking about how you just be putting down licks if we had an AAU team. You would be our star lineman.
Yeah.
Pulling guard. I was telling them, you got those quick feet.
Yeah, yeah.
Getting
I
one
had a lot of
direction.
fun on the line, practiced and played in every position on the offensive and defensive line.
What's the guy's name from that movie Friday Night Lights? And he was like the guard. What is it? He had the
Oh,
cowboy hat.
Billy Bob.
Billy Bob.
Oh, from Varsity Blues.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Billy Bob, I love that pig, man.
Yeah.
Or I love that dog.
I love that.
He's
You
got
know that pig.
it's a pot-bellied pig.
Damn.
They don't make movies like that.
Killer is like a dad to me.
Great movie. Oh
Hell,
man.
Bob, do you even know what day it is?
Huh? Well, boys, we're gonna wrap up from here. Art, I just wanted to give a big shout out. Thank you for hosting us today. Thank you for all that you're doing.
Anytime, dude. I'd love to have you guys here
Yeah,
anytime.
thanks for having us, man. It's been awesome.
Sure.
Yeah, and your insight and perspective has been absolutely awesome to have too. So we'll definitely start making this more of a regular thing.
Pull up. Pull up. That's what the kids say. Pull up.
Hey, if you're in the Pierce, South Dakota vicinity, stop in the mall.
Yeah. Stop in at Northridge Plaza here.
And thank you.
Seriously, dude, you have a gem right here, and you don't get to keep great stuff like this unless you support it, so just make sure that you do. It doesn't matter what fan affiliations you have. He's got everything top to bottom. He's got my Cowboys, he's got Frosty's Dolphins, Vikings gear. There's a sweet Larry Bird jersey that I think I'm going to copy
I
myself.
seen a Vancouver Grizzlies jersey, a Mike Bibby jersey. That was a throwback right there. That was nice.
True. Jackrabbits, North Dakota, South Dakota, everything in between, top to bottom. Fresh Huddle. Holla.
All the good shit. Big shout out, Fresh Huddle, and thank you so much for hosting us.
Yeah,
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
Thanks for having me.
You guys will be able to see this podcast. You can either go to our Facebook page and then you can click on the link from there. It will also be available on YouTube, and we'll be streaming to Spotify in the very near future as well. So just be on the lookout for your car rides and trips. We're thankful for each and every one of you, all of our viewers and listeners. Remember, no matter what you're going through, just try to be a good person and a good human being. Fundayz Sports is about good times with good people, and we're thankful to have you guys along on this journey.
I love you so much.
Love you long time. Also, be sure to stay tuned. Again, what was the date for the Teen Holt signing?
April 26th, 12 o'clock. Be there. You can't be square. All right? You have to be there.
Make
There's
sure
no
you're there.
square.
There's a
Is it
limited
your
number of
square?
jerseys as well.
Oh, yeah. Right now, pardon me, we only have 200 jerseys, so first come, first serve. We got 100 youth jerseys, XL through small, 100 adult jerseys, 3X through large. So get them while we got them, because they're going. It's hot.
Absolutely.
April 26th is a Saturday.
Yes, it's the last Saturday, actually, of April.
Last Saturday of April, the 26th at 12 noon. Will be the timing on that. I've already got my jersey reserved. I'm stoked about that one. And then make sure you follow along for more golf content as well. We have Breaking 30 that's going to be dropping soon.
And it was not breaking 30.
Don't give away the deal there.
Well, I mean, it was just, I think people were thinking we were probably shooting, 17, 18, probably after they see me and you swing, Frosty.
That'll be Breaking 20. That'll be if I get Tiger and JT up here. Also, tune in to the TGL tomorrow night. We've got the inaugural championship that's going to be going between New York Golf Club as well as the Atlanta Drive Golf Club. So a big match tomorrow.
Best of three, isn't it? Technically speaking, best of 3 nights.
Is it a best of three series?
I think it is, because you have first night, second night, then I think the third night was if they needed it. So I think it's going to be whoever wins each night.
You're absolutely right. So we'll be looking at March 24th, 25th, and as well on the 25th. So they're going to do a doubleheader.
Okay, so if it comes down to it, it'll be doubleheader.
It'd be a great night of golf. Great if you guys like indoor golf. It's an ability to see a lot of different tour players in a different element and playing some indoor golf and still doing what they love.
Watching pros not be pros, it's what the fun thing is.
And it's more than just indoor golf. It's
the
it's
chatter
the
back and
closest
forth and-
thing to outside golf that you can get.
Yeah.
Indoors, absolutely. I like where the league is at with their first year. I'd love to see these arenas be built all around the country, have some collegiate showcase tournaments, even high school tournaments.
That'd be fun.
It's a good way to get to know these guys a little bit better and not necessarily have to go out to the golf course and walk 18 holes with a guy to be able to see him play.
Where they have to be prim and proper.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, here they just kind of let it hang out. They're
This
just,
one, you got music in the background, you got the crowd interaction.
Shot clock.
Shot clock's a big one. And then they got the hammer as well, which you're doubling the whole points basically on that, but it just gives it a whole other aspect. It's not normal golf, but it's still the same aspects of normal golf.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just a great way to see the pros actually be more normal people out there, it seems like. And still hit some great shots. Shout out Kisner.
Shout out Kiz.
Kizzo.
All right, boys. Well, that's gonna be a wrap for our first live episode in addition. All right. Thanks again, Big Fish. Thank you for all of your insight, and I'm excited to have you on board. Frosty, go fuck yourself.
Will do, buddy. Will
Yeah.
do.
Maybe if you want to.
Joke's on you. I already do.
Love you guys. We'll see you soon.